Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making a vegetable barley soup. I have these vegetables here and also this and barley that's soaking on the counter. I'll go over each of the vegetables as I'm adding them to my pot. I have the heat on medium-low, and I have a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot because this recipe will not have oil in it. I'm going to start off with an onion, one white onion, that I'm going to chop into small pieces. I like to chop this not on my wood cutting board because the onion smell stays forever. That's just me. So this white onion, the water hasn't even begun to show any signs of heating up, which is totally fine because this doesn't have like a specific time stamp on, you know, how much you can add. So I'm going to add this half of the onion so far. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all good. I am actually still sick, but I'm getting way better, thankfully. That's why I sound like this. Please excuse the deep voice or manly voice. I really don't know what's happening with the voice situation, but soon I'll be back to what it was. Okay. Oops, I dropped garlic in here. Okay. Next I'm adding 4 cloves of garlic. Just smash it. If you could see, I don't know if you can see, but I just smash it to get the skins off easier. And then just dice it however you want. Okay, so this is my garlic situation. That's the smashing now of the garlic. Okay. Boy, when you're sick, it really makes a difference in how you feel. I'm breathing heavy. Hi. This will be like the cure-all soup. It has all kinds of great vitamins and nutrients and everything you need to feel better. Okay, that goes 4 cloves of garlic goes in there. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Right in there with the rest. I'm just using the water in there to get off the remaining tomato paste. I have 1 shishito pepper, and I'm gonna only use half because I'm not sure if it'll be spicy or mild, so I'm only using half, and I'm taking out the seeds. We'll see how that goes in there. Okay, I also have a knob of ginger. I'm not using the whole thing. I keep my ginger in the freezer, and I wrap it and I keep it in the freezer. It keeps it fresher longer and it doesn't shrivel up. What you can do when it looks like this is microplane it into your food, or if it's thawed out enough, you can just cut a piece and then put it into your whatever meal you're cooking. Now, a good way to get rid of the ginger skins is to just use the back of a spoon and just push the skin off, and it comes right off and you don't waste any of the ginger. So do that, and then I'll get the microplane and show you how I microplane it in. And I'm just cutting off the very tip of the ginger so that if it's at all freezer burned or anything, which it's not. So here, this is what the ginger looks like. And I happen to have a microplane grater, but you don't necessarily need a microplane grater. You could use a regular box grater or just cut it with a knife. So I'm gonna just microplane that in and then tap off the remaining, and this can go back in your freezer. And this is what it looks like in the pot so far. Okay, next. So here I have, this is pearl barley. It's 2 handfuls of pearl barley, not an exact measurement. Excuse me. I just rinsed mine prior to using, just so the water could run somewhat clear. And it's a whole grain barley, and you can actually, if you don't like barley, in place of this you can use lentils. You can use like a handful of lentils. You can use a handful of brown rice. It's up to you. You can use farro. There's a bunch of grains that you can use, or you can leave grains out altogether and it would just be the vegetable soup, not the vegetable barley soup. So in goes the barley soaked, and I just added fresh water because I'm using water anyway, like that. And now we'll start chopping our vegetables. I'm gonna chop a bell pepper, a whole green bell pepper. Again, this is a recipe that you can cater to your taste. So this is kind of giving you an idea of what you can do with what you have in the refrigerator. I mean, you can even call this everything but the kitchen sink soup, because whatever produce you happen to have on hand, whatever vegetables can go into this soup, and any herbs you have that you need to use, whatever is in season, your end of the week, you know, emptying out of your refrigerator so that you can go grocery shopping and get whatever you need for the following week, meal preps, or, you know, meal plans that you guys have. So I happen to have the vegetables that I'm using today, but any combination of vegetables would be good. I like these combination of vegetables, and I vary it every time. It might have one less ingredient or one more ingredient, but that all depends on personal preference. So this bell pepper is now almost chopped. You can't even see my chopping, I see that. Now I'm noticing. Okay, so here it is, chopped. I'm adding it. Okay, next I'm adding mushrooms. I have a handful of white button mushrooms. I chop the stems, and I do throw the stems in. If I was making, let's say, stuffed mushrooms, I would remove the stems and then chop the stems up and put the stems in the filling of the stuffed mushroom. So this is how roughly I'm chopping the mushrooms, adding that in. Okay, that's done. See a little bit of steam coming off of here, but not quite yet. That's a great place for your temperature to be, so that it's not overly hot, and you can still continue to simmer, and then gauge how much water you'd like to add at the end when all your vegetables have been added. And my heat is on medium right now. The next vegetable I have is a turnip, a white turnip. I just removed the skin. This is what the skin looked like. Remove the skin, and I'm just gonna chop this into bite-sized pieces and add that. You can add potato to this recipe. You can add sweet potato, any other root vegetable that you like. Today I'm adding turnips. One turnip, actually, I should say. Okay, so that's one turnip chopped. Kind of looks like a potato. Definitely isn't a potato, and you'll know it. Okay, the next vegetable I have is this squash, zucchini or squash. They call it gray squash where I purchased it. It's a little bit different than just like green, like the green zucchini. They call this gray squash. I mean, it's obviously not gray, but it kind of has like this, you know, green and white. I do not peel the skin of this because the skin has its nutrients, and the turnip skins are a little tougher. This is very, actually I've even eaten this raw and it's very good. So you want to chop that. You can use zucchini, you can use, you know, I think zucchini's in season, yellow squash, whatever you prefer. That goes in. Next we have one Brussels sprout, just one, because I do have more Brussels sprouts, but I've never used Brussels sprouts in soup. I always like them to be roasted in the oven with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and they taste amazing. But I wanted to just experiment with the Brussels sprout, and I'm chopping it very finely. Because essentially I think it's like from the cabbage family, and so I'm just gonna slice it very small and see what happens. That's one Brussels sprout chopped. Can you see that? Focus. Adding that in. And next we have a carrot, one carrot that I've already peeled. And I'm going to just also chop. And you can, if you have like these amazing knife skills and you want everything to be perfect, you can, you know, choose your chop for all your vegetables, and you know, they might cook more evenly. But this is a soup, and I'm not too concerned with the chop or, you know, how it cooks, because I'm just gonna let it cook until it all cooks. So that's one carrot. And then we have about this much fresh green beans that I will cut the ends off of them. I'll cut the ends off of them and add that also to the soup. I'm sure frozen would work just as well. I just happen to have fresh green beans on hand, so I'm going to add that. Don't mind me, I'm just getting rid of the ends. And okay. Okay. Green beans. Whoops. One got away from me. Okay. Okay. Now this herb is dill. This is, I'm adding dill. However, mostly I'm adding the stalks. The stalks of the dill, or most herbs have a lot of water content and great flavor and great for soups and great for this purpose. If you're using dill in a salad or in some kind of sauce, then these parts of the dill are great as well. The whole thing, you can use the entire thing, but we just use that. The dill will have more in raw form. We just eat it in raw form, or if you're eating, you can add it to, like I made this morning, I made a cucumber, dill, and onion salad, and I added the fresh dill, and so just like that, you can use it, or you can of course cook with it. You can use it with any protein that you cook, anything that you cook. You could probably put it in eggs too. I never tried that. I don't eat eggs, but if I did like a tofu scramble, you could put it in that. Experiment. I mean, the only thing that can go wrong with experimenting when you're cooking is that it would taste bad, but then you would just tweak it the next time. That's like the beauty of cooking. And also, I missed one. Learning, if you want to learn how to cook, or if you just want to be able to cook some meals for yourself instead of eating out, save money and be healthier, these are ways that you can do that and slowly, figure out what you like and what you don't. Okay, so now all of my vegetables have been added into the pot. This is what it looks like. At this point, I will stir the soup. Not quite soup yet, but I'm just gonna stir it, get it all going. I have not added any seasonings to it, except for, adding 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Okay, so now you see the heat has come up. There is not much water here, but the vegetables will release their own water. I did put water at the bottom of this when we started, and of course I will add water when I'm completely done. To this, the only seasoning that I'll be adding is some turmeric powder. I'm not doing exact measurements, I'm eyeing it, so a few shakes will be just fine. And then I will be adding some sea salt. Sea salt. A little bit. You can always adjust your salt later, but you can't remove salt, so don't be generous with the salt, because you can always add salt to your food after it's been cooked and see what you like. You can also add spice, like, to make it spicy. But like this particular soup, if I'm making it for a crowd and somebody doesn't like salt or pepper or saltiness or spiciness, they can cater to their own taste by doing add-ins into their own individual soup. They can add hot sauce or lemon juice or more salt, pepper, whatever they like. This is a base, and it has tons of flavor as it is. So those are all the seasonings that are going in there. Those are all the ingredients that are going in there. This is what it looks like now. And now I'm just going to add water. This is already boiled water. You can use cold water, filtered water, whatever water, and just add. Okay. So this is the amount of water that I added. It's halfway up. Now I'm just going to stir. Let this come up to temperature and then let it cook until all your vegetables are cooked and you have yourself a great meal. Serve this, you can serve this with bread, you can serve it on its own, and it will be delicious. You could serve it on the side of your meal. or as your meal, and I'm sure it will be great. That is everything that I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.